Even more interesting than the movie franchise itself, I think something that fans are just as intrigued by the Sonic the Hedgehog movies is the pre-release of them. The first Sonic movie was announced in 2014. Back then, Sony Pictures was attached to it, who was hot off of this run. Oh my God. There are even plans to release a movie a year, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. I could spend a whole week straight, I'm talking, I don't know how many hours it is,
168.
talking about the pre-release of the first Sonic movie. It's that interesting to me, I know, it's really sad. But one of the most talked about, one of the most popular points in pre-Sonic movie history was the CCXP Sonic movie trailer from 2018. I'm sure there are a lot of you guys who are familiar with this, and I'm sure there are plenty of you guys who aren't. But in today's video, that's exactly what we're talking about. This is one of the most interesting talking points in history in Sonic the Hedgehog, and there's a reason why so many people discuss it. It's a very interesting, elusive thing, and also, it qualifies as lost media. We all know how much the internet loves lost media. We'll be talking about this lost trailer, the history of it, why we haven't seen it 7 years later, and if we'll ever see it again. The date is December 6, 2018. CCXP, originally called ComicCon Experience, I guess they think the XP is cooler because it has a little face, was being held and Paramount Pictures was in attendance. Now everybody needs to remember, around this time for the Sonic movies, we had zero marketing material. Not a poster, not a trailer, nothing really. The only things that we knew about this movie were through leaks, and it was really just Sonic's design. Mainly the style guide for the movie being leaked, showing an idea of what Sonic's design would look like, with a lot of these images being planned to be used on merchandise, and then also this early concept render, which a lot of people have mistaken as the Sony Pictures Sonic render, when that is not the case. We really still had little to no idea about this movie, and this was really kind of our first peek at it, or Brazil's first peek at it. It's described that the footage was very short and just showing Sonic running on a highway and then quickly running off screen causing Sonic boom, and then ending with the title card saying Sonic, which had speculated that the movie was originally supposed to be just titled Sonic. I always wonder if people played a drinking game with my channel, how many times I said Sonic and they had to take a shot, how up they would be by the end of it. There are a few people who ran to Twitter to talk about the teaser, with Pratt's butt saying that the panel was flawless and that Sonic is really f***ing cute and never long, that's unfortunate, saying that the design is reminiscent of Detective Pikachu and that they're aiming for a realistic style, but also that the CGI is really good. It seemed like most people were really impressed with it, which was nice to see, and we knew literally nothing about this movie, so we were just taking what we could get. So naturally we would see this at a later date, right? Well, I believe that was the plan, but it didn't end up happening. Here's why I think that. Remember when I said that this panel took place on December 6th? Well, only 4 days later, the very first teaser poster for the Sonic movie was released, and if you guys were around in the community around that time, you know exactly how the internet reacted to this thing. He has those thunder thighs, you can tell that his hands are exposed, and for whatever reason, the lighting off of his eye is green and makes it look like he has an actual rodent face. Horrible decision here. It seemed like Paramount even knew that it was dog so they made it part of their marketing rollout that Sonic was ugly, continuing to hide his full design for as long as humanly possible. So why do I believe that they were at least going to release this small bit of footage? Well, for two main reasons. For one, they dropped the poster, and a majority of the time when a movie studio drops a poster for an upcoming movie, a trailer is not long to follow. And most of the time they don't even tell you that a trailer's coming, it just follows shortly after. So the idea of the film is in the general audience's head. And the second reason is that only a few days after that, Paramount would be releasing their Bumblebee movie on December 21st. It's also very common for studios to place trailers in front of big upcoming movies that share similar demographics. Sonic and Transformers definitely share a similar demographic, not to mention it's from the same studio. So it'd make all the sense in the world to drop a little mini teaser. So with those two, in my opinion, very logical theories for why there was going to be a trailer, why didn't we get it? Well, the poster. It was bad, man, and Paramount kind of just decided after that response that it would probably be a better marketing decision to hold out on revealing Sonic to kind of build up anticipation. For a long time, I thought Paramount released a poster of a very different Sonic movie design that they never intended on using, so that when they actually revealed their bad Sonic movie design, it didn't seem as bad in comparison, if that makes any sense. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Paramount almost certainly was trying to convince us that Sonic had an actual hedgehog's face. But then, a few months later, this image dropped. This is a leaked screenshot from the actual Sonic the Hedgehog movie itself, and this was included in some kind of promo package for the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. You can see a bunch of Nickelodeon properties around him, like the live-action Dora movie. It's believed that they were going to premiere the first trailer at the Kids' Choice Awards. It didn't end up happening, obviously, and I think that was a good decision. Like, we're not in 2008 anymore. F***ing Charlie D'Amelio is hosting the Kids' Choice Awards now. It's not really the respected place that it used to be. I'd much rather they just drop it on their YouTube channel like they did. Now, why was it going to initially play there? Well, Paramount owns Nickelodeon. That's the answer. They love their brand synergy. You can see it to this day. There was Sonic Saturdays playing on Nickelodeon before Sonic Movie 3 came out, where they played Sonic Prime and the Knuckles TV show and all the movies before. It was super cool. But more interesting than this simply being planned to be aired at the Kids' Choice Awards was the image that was used, because the image does line up with what was described at CCXP with Sonic running down the highway. And not just that, but this Sonic isn't the Sonic that we would end up getting a month later. Paramount would hold their panel at CinemaCon where they reveal the first trailers for Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes, trailers. They revealed one for Sonic the Hedgehog and then one for Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey. And the official trailer would release shortly after, but this shot never appears in the trailer. Not just that, but am I crazy, or does this Sonic not look like the Sonic that we got in the actual trailer? It's very likely that the Sonic movie team was already making tweaks to the design after the reception of the poster, especially with this poster leaking onto the internet, which is clearly a different version of what we ended up getting with that first trailer. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate this. This has just led a lot of people, including myself, to believe there was a trailer and even maybe a slightly altered design of Sonic before the infamous ugly Sonic that we ended up getting. But we all know how the story goes from there. Sonic's ugly, the internet hates it, they decide to change it, the movie releases, boom, billion-dollar franchise. You'd think that once when us Sonic fans got the design that we all wanted and have 3 movies and a spinoff under our belt, you'd think that we'd be satisfied and we don't really need to see the thing that we hated so much come back. No, we need that. Contradicting dummy is the middle name of every Sonic fan in existence. If you didn't think that Sonic fans would make it their life mission to find an at maximum 30-second teaser trailer that was released exclusively at a ComicCon in Brazil, going on 7 years ago, then you're simply mistaken. For what seems like years now, there's been a decently impassioned search to find this trailer. And despite how large and rabid this fan base is, no one's been able to find it. Kind of. There's a tweet by somebody who attended CCXP in 2018 where they leaked, supposedly, the Sonic movie trailer. It's obviously in Spanish, but it translates to "Stop Everything." The trailer for Sonic the Movie of Paramount Pictures Mexico has already been leaked, and Dr. Eggman would be happy about this. Hashtag Sonic the Movie, hashtag Sonic the Hedgehog, hashtag Sonic. And you can see, even years later, the tweet doesn't have a lot of motion. And remember, this is years after the trailer was posted and the fan search begun, so even these small numbers are inflated. The video was obviously taken down by DMCA. We know that the video was 28 seconds long, which definitely lines up with the description of the trailer. And while of course it was not confirmed that this was indeed the trailer, it very well could be. Now up to this point in the video, everything that we've talked about so far is either real or plausible. After the search for this lost trailer became so widespread, a lot of reports have come out about the trailer, more specifically an elongated trailer that was screened in movie theaters in Mexico from December of 2018 to May of 2019. The latter making that really hard to believe. You're telling me that in Mexico, which has a very large and passionate Sonic the Hedgehog fan base, was having a trailer play for half a year about a highly publicized movie that was having a lot of controversy around the design of its main character, to which the general public hadn't seen yet. And you're telling me that not a soul who went to go see Bumblebee or Into the Spider-Verse around that time thought to maybe take their phone out to snap a picture or video of said trailer? I'm calling bullshit. Now there are some supposed details leaked of what this trailer held. And what were they? Well, Sonic's voice in the trailer wasn't the famous Mexican YouTuber. This guy, I'm not going to butcher his name, I'm sorry. It was some unknown professional voice actor instead. There was another cut French joke, Robotnik disses Sonic and friends with French words. It was part of the skyscraper scene. The trailer uses a Green Hill Zone remix made exclusively for the trailer. A brief snippet of the deleted date scene from the French dub testing is seen. Now, I believe this person just has their languages confused, because I think they're referring to this image right here, which is in Russian, not French. And lastly, Sonic's design was the same one as the one used in the CCXP 2018 teaser, confirming that this was the true original design at some point. I mean, I think at this point we all know this is a very poorly kept secret. Ugly Sonic was somehow a tweak of their original Sonic design, which didn't look terrible. There were models made of this thing, finished renders, or renders that could be at least close to what we'd end up getting. So all these just sound like very safe lies. So yes, there is a Sonic teaser that does predate the the initial original Sonic trailer that was probably meant to release alongside the first initial poster, but didn't. That trailer, however, only played at CCXP. I do not believe, however, that there was an entire trailer that played for half a year that nobody manages to have any evidence of whatsoever. The person who's quote-unquote reporting these things went to go see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse when he saw this, but has perfect English. And also, like, a Sonic fan going to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the most obvious bull. Like, if you were a little creative, you could have said that you want to go see Clint Eastwood's The Mule, or Vice. You Sonic fan gaslighter and manipulators need to be more creative with your lies. But yeah, that's pretty much all we know. The big question goes to when you're talking about a piece of quote-unquote lost media is if we'll ever see it. And if I'm being real, I think so. At this point, I think there would have been footage released from the CCXP camcorder or iPhone footage or whatever. So I think that's a little unlikely that some random person's gonna be like, oh yeah, I have this on my phone. Don't rule that out, but I think the more likely option is that Paramount at some point will release it. Sonic has gone on to become one of Paramount's biggest movie franchises, and whether we like it or not, the ugly Sonic / redesign moment is one of the biggest points in movie history. While I don't think they'll do it as a result of outrage or overwhelming support from Sonic fans, I could genuinely see them tossing this in as a bonus feature on some kind of 10th anniversary Sonic movie Blu-ray or something like that, if Blu-rays exist by then. As we've discussed, there's a very large, passionate fan base behind this lost trailer, so I recommend if you guys still want to see it, go ahead and continue your search. Don't rule out the possibility, because I could genuinely see this happening later down the line. Not anytime soon, unless something unforeseen happens, but here's to crossing our fingers. This is certainly one of the most interesting points in Sonic the Hedgehog history, with the release of the first movie and everything that surrounded it, but there being a lost trailer that the general audience has never been able to see, featuring a design of Sonic that we also have never been able to see. It's some cool stuff, man, and I hope that at some point in the future, this piece of Sonic lost media will be found.
Baby, right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to find away.